Hey you guys, my name is Mara Sullivan and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about a few different ways that you guys can simply be happier. None of these are brand new. These are all things that you've probably heard before, but I feel like this is the time of year where we all like to be reminded of ways to, improve our lives, to make our lives easier, make our lives better, and ways to start the year off strong, how to go into the new year with a good mindset, how to end the year in a good frame of mind. And so, like I said, none of these are rocket science, but these are things that definitely help me. And also, just this time of year in general, I know can be sad for a lot of people. It is dark outside, it's cold, seasonal depression, winter blues, run rampant this time of year. I live in Maryland, and it is dark at 4 p.m. now, and it's a little bit hard to stay in a good mood. And so I wanted to record this video, one to, help us to be happy going into the new year, but also to be happy this season in general because winter is a harder month for a lot of people. And I do want to say, if you are grieving this time of year, I'm right here with you. I lost my mom last November, and I know what it's like, just for an entire year to be difficult, but especially the holidays and just the winter season in general. If you are experiencing deep sadness, grief, hard, just if everything feels hard this time of year, I'm right here with you and you have my heart. And go check out a few videos that I've already done on grief if that is where you are in your life right now. It is something that I'm going to be pretty open about talking about on this channel because it's been therapeutic for me to talk about it. And it's also helped me so much to look at other creators who have shared their stories with grief. And they have helped me to get through. And so I hope that I can do the same thing, at least for one other person out there who might be going through the same thing. So without further ado, let's jump into some ways to be happier. And on my channel in general, I like to talk about ways for you guys to live your dream life now, regardless of your circumstances, which is basically what I'm doing, starting this channel. If you guys, like I said, go check out my first few videos. I'm talking about starting YouTube before I'm ready. And so going into the new year, especially, we're going to be living our dream regardless of circumstances. We are not caring about, what the outside world looks like. We're focused up here. Everything is in our mind this year, and that's what we're going to focus on. Okay, so let's jump into some ways to be happier. The first one is one that I have basically committed to being the theme of my 26th year. I turned 26 back in October, and that is to simply have more fun. I feel like as we get older, most of us get more serious. We get a lot more responsibilities. You know, things start happening. We start, unfortunately, some of us start losing people, losing family, friends, loved ones. And life just tends to get harder as we get older. And for so many people, we lose that like childlike faith and imagination and happiness and wonder. And we have to be responsible and be an adult and grow up. And if you're like me, I had to grow up a little bit fast because I was raised by a single mom and I had an incredible childhood. But, I had to kind of, be a little bit more like of an adult earlier on. I had to be independent early on, especially losing my mom at 25 last year. I just feel like my life up until this point has been super serious. It's been kind of a struggle. Like everything about my life up until this point I've had to just like grow up fast. And I feel like now going into my later 20s, I want to have fun. I feel like my life I'm doing like a flip because I feel like my first 25 years, even though I had an incredible childhood, amazing upbringing, it's been rough. And I feel like now I'm at the point, even though I'm like on the latter half of my 20s, now I feel like I'm ready to have fun, or like now I can have fun. So I feel like I've been serious for the last most of my life, and now like as I'm getting older, I'm having more fun. So I feel like my childhood and adulthood were flipped a little bit, which is fine with me. So I feel like I'm in a season of my life where I just genuinely know that I have had to be serious, like I said, for so long. And I feel like so many people can resonate with that because, no matter what you've been through in your life, we all know that as we get older, we take on more responsibilities, especially if you have kids already. You got a lot on your plate. And so I think it's important to just remember that just because you're an adult does not mean that you can't have fun anymore. Just because you have responsibilities does not mean you can't have fun anymore. I think that with the rise of productivity and all the wellness trends and time management stuff and all of the to-do lists and jam-packed 5 a.m. morning routines, like all that stuff, even though it's been helpful for so many of us, myself included. I love all that content. I myself have you know made a lot of content about all of like productivity, wellness, all those things, but I feel like sometimes it can be too much and we can forget to just like loosen up, to just have fun and to make time to do absolutely nothing, to make time to just be creative, to daydream, to actually like live in your imagination like a kid again, to like pretend. And to, if you want to play dress up, go play dress up. If you want to be a pirate today, go act like a pirate today. Like I feel like, there's so much heaviness with being an adult that like we forget like you can actually still have fun. My favorite people are like older people, like 60 up, who like have no idea, like who don't let their age define them, who are still having so much fun, who are living like they're in their 20s. They still go out, they still talk to their friends, they still have a blast. And those are my favorite people, people that don't take themselves too seriously. I feel like if you feel like you have had to, like I said before, grow up fast, be super serious all the time. Maybe you have a very demanding career, demanding family. We all have things that, we have to do, and responsibilities and bills to pay and people to take care of and, ourselves to take care of. Don't forget to have fun, especially going into this year. There's something about this year. I feel like I was reading a post that said it doesn't feel like the pandemic was 5 years ago, but it was. We have been through a lot just as a world the last few years, and I feel like now we need to like cut ourselves some slack, give ourselves some grace, and just have more fun, loosen up, whatever that looks like for you. I want you to commit to doing, even if it's once a week, just doing something fun. If you can do one thing a day that helps you to loosen up and like let your hair down and have more fun, laugh. Like simply laugh more, smile more. I know that it's so annoying when people tell you to smile. I hate when people tell me that, but it's so true. Like that energy that you can change your entire energy just by laughing, just by smiling. Like you'll be so surprised. The little things are the things that make the biggest difference. So find ways to be happier right here, right now. Find things that are more fun for you. I know that fun for everybody does not look like drinking, partying, going out, and if it does for you, that's fine. But I love to travel, but I'm also like a little bit of a homebody. I love being in the house. Reading for me is fun. Cooking for me is fun. Throwing on some music while I'm doing whatever task that I want to do is fun. So like, just find ways to have more fun. Um, Obviously we're going into a new year, so we're about to be all about the vision boards and Pinteresting and just imagining what our lives are going to look like this year. And I think I have this on my list, but be who be the person now that you want to become. Basically, you don't have to wait. So I want you to like have the mindset of whoever it is that you have in your head is the dream best version of yourself. Develop the mindset of that person now. How does that person think? How do they dress? What are the habits? What are they doing every single day? And I know for me, like I said, I have just developed just kind of the characteristic like over the last few years of just not taking myself too seriously. Like I don't really, vibe with people who are so uptight and just gotta stick up their butt all the time. Like loosen up, you know what I mean? Like I just want just have more fun. Just because you're grown, just because you have responsibilities does not mean that you can't have fun anymore. So figure out what fun looks like for you. Also figure out what the dream version of yourself is doing and start being that person now. You do not have to wait until your life is perfect to be the dream version of yourself. You don't have to wait until you have all the things. You don't have to wait until, you know, all of your boxes are checked off. You can be that person right here, right now. It's all about your mindset. And that is another one of my tips to be happier this year is to really, really work on your mindset. If you are someone who um, has negative self talk and who is always down on yourself, I need you to be more delusional right now. Like, I need you to go into um, this new year and just completely, if you can, live in your imagination as much as you can. Whatever bad thing happens or has happened, I need you to leave that in the past, and I need you to like trick your brain because your brain doesn't know the difference. Whatever has happened is happened. It's not gonna happen again. It's done. It's gone. And I need you to start telling yourself a new story about yourself, about your life. If you are someone who, like I've been there, I've been through a lot. I need you to really just tell yourself a new story in your head. Even if you don't have to say anything out loud, just tell yourself, like, today's the best day ever. I don't care if somebody, flipped you off while you were driving. I don't care what, you have been through this today, this year, whatever. Today is the best day ever. I need you to be so, and I don't even think like it's delusional. Like, I genuinely think whatever you tell, I mean, if you follow like manifestation or if you're a person of faith, whatever your beliefs are, whatever your practice is, you have the power just in your mind alone. The mind is the most powerful thing in the world to literally create your entire life. If you want a brand new life, if you want to be a brand new person, you can be that in your mind. Just start telling yourself a new story. You want to be the baddest thing, walk in, tell yourself every day, every single day, I am the baddest bee out here. Nobody is better than me. Nobody compares to me. I am the best at what I do. Affirmations, do whatever it is to reset your mind. Have a mind reset going into this new year, ending this year, or no matter what time of year you're watching this. Change your mind. Like, work on your mindset, work on your self talk, work on your affirmations. I used to not be someone that vibe with affirmations because they always felt like cheesy to me. But I realized that they really, 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 really do make a difference. And if you can change your mind first and whatever it is that you want to see in your head, you can have it in real life. I know that, if you're like me, all of that stuff sounded super cheesy to me until I actually started doing it because I used to be such a big dreamer as a kid. I used to be able to imagine myself doing any and everything. And somewhere along the way, I feel like either I was told I had an overactive imagination or I heard that phrase somewhere, and for whatever reason it stuck with me, and I stopped like just dreaming. I stopped daydreaming. I stopped using my imagination. And I've always been a very visual person. I've always been a creative person. Um, but I feel like I just got away from that a little bit. And I feel like we all do a little bit as we get older. It's harder to imagine. It's harder to just daydream because we're told that we have to be realistic. And that's another thing I want to talk about. It's not on my list, but be as unrealistic as you can, okay? Like, if you know you have very, very, very big dreams, stop telling people. Do not shut your mouth. Like, do not tell people what you have in mind for your life if you know that it is unrealistic in like the real world or to normal people. If you know you're not meant to live a normal life, don't try to tell normal people about your abnormal life. Like, it makes no sense. Just stop. Like, just know what you want to do, visualize it, tell your vision board, tell God, whoever you believe in, keep it to yourself. And they'll find out later. But this just goes back to being happier. If you are someone who feels like you have been diminishing yourself and that you've kept yourself from dreaming, that you've let other people's opinions of you and their, what is it called? Their limiting beliefs and their perceptions, and they've been projecting onto you things, just because they couldn't do something, they're telling you you can't do it, and that's unrealistic. I need you to be unrealistic, like, in your head, if nothing else. be delusional. And to me, that's not being delusional. Like, if you know wholeheartedly that you can see who it is that you want to be and see where you want to go, then that means that it's possible. It means that it's happened. It means that I love what is it called? I can't remember. I guess it was probably like on one of like manifestation videos, but if you guys are in that world, then you know that if you can like imagine it, it's already yours. You already have it. You have to be persistent enough to and tell yourself every single day, whatever it is that you want. I don't care what circumstances look like. I don't care, what people are saying to you. I don't care who's supporting you. You have to believe in yourself enough to go after whatever it is that you want, and to believe that you can actually have it. I hate that as we get older, we stop believing, many people, not all of us, but a lot of people stop believing that they can actually have what they want. You know, stop letting people and society and, upbringing, whatever the case may be, keep you from living your dream, keep you from doing whatever it is that you want to do, keep you from dreaming. If all you have is your imagination, use that, because I promise you, if you do not give up here, it's gonna happen for you, like in the real world, because it's already happened. I feel like in our minds are more realistic than this outside world is, and that's a whole nother video. But if you are someone who knows that you have big dreams that you want to accomplish this year, one, keep it to yourself because people will definitely discourage you, but also make sure that you are allowing yourself to dream and telling yourself every single day that you are already whoever it is that you want to be, that you have whatever it is that you want to have. uh, you have to know that you already have it and be persistent in that. Also, we hear this all the time, but we all know that what we eat and what we drink affects our mood. It does. So if you are someone who has, really bad anxiety, or you just don't feel good, or I know for me, my energy, especially this time of year, is gone. What I eat and drink impacts my mood so much. And so when it comes to being happy, I know that what I put in my body matters. I've definitely limited my caffeine intake, which I know sounds crazy because I said my energy goes down this time of year, but I've noticed that I actually feel better drinking less caffeine. Coffee started giving me headaches anyway, so I like gave up coffee a few months ago. Like, I still drink it a little bit here and there, but not much. Um, Limiting my caffeine, definitely limiting alcohol. If you know that you are someone who is already sad this time of year, is going to make it worse. Pay attention to what you're putting in your body. Ingredients do matter. I try to stick to all organic, but I know that that's not possible for everyone. But, minimal ingredients in your food. Also, just make sure that we all know what's healthy and what's not. Processed foods, things that have, artificial ingredients that are not good for us. At this point, I feel like the wellness community has done its job with telling us, what's good and what's not. We all know now, like what is good for us and what's not. And also, you have to know your body, because what's good for me isn't going to be great for you, and so isn't always going to be great for you. It is not a blanket statement when it comes to nutrition, but I do want to say what you put in your body matters, and to be mindful of that. Um, for me, high protein always works, and water. I genuinely drink mostly just water and tea. And so, oh, and honey. Honey, 10 out of 10, especially if you live somewhere where it's cold and people around you are sick all the time. If you tend to get sick all the time, honey, raw, organic honey. Manuka honey is the best if you can get that. Um, I do not drink tea without honey. It is a lifesaver. But yeah, make sure you're paying attention to what you're putting in your body, because trust me, I know that the comfort food, especially this time of year, the sugar, the snacks, the holiday parties, the alcohol, the cocktails, all of that stuff is fantastic in the moment. But if you are prone to being sad this time of year, it is not going to help you. So you have to make sure that enjoy yourself. I'm not telling you, please eat the cinnamon rolls, drink the holiday cocktails, like, because that is part of being happy. but also be mindful of, what you're consuming just on a regular basis. Like if you know you got the holiday party coming up, be mindful of what you're eating throughout the day so that, you're not overdoing it, so that, you don't feel super fatigued and run down the next day, so that you don't have the stomach ache, so that you don't feel hungover, you know, all the time. Just be mindful of what you're putting in your body at all times, especially this time of year. Exercise, also, we all know exercise is an energy booster. I believe there's the happy hormones, dopamine, endorphins. Exercise always, 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 raises the bar. Like it really does help you to be happier, no matter what the form of exercise is. Me, I have a treadmill, so I just try to walk on my treadmill 30 minutes a day. Nothing crazy. I usually walk on like 4.2, which is basically just a speed walk. Nothing crazy at all. But exercise will always, always, always help you to boost your mood. And I know that, again, this time of year, you might not feel like moving your body at all. It is definitely the time of year to be on the couch as much as possible. But trust me, exercise makes a huge difference. At this point, I exercise more so for mental health than anything else. And obviously, physically, I have to. Moving our bodies is essential, especially walking, standing is good for our heart. Um, and we all basically, almost everyone wants to look good. No one's gonna deny the fact that, exercise helps with physique and, us looking and feeling our best. But it is definitely a huge mood booster. And then there are obviously like the fun activities this time of year for exercise: ice skating, if that's your thing, skiing, sledding, the fun winter exercises too. But if you live somewhere where it's warm, then you can still go for runs outside, or no matter where you live, you can still do whatever your favorite form of exercise is. But just make sure that you try to keep up some form of movement throughout these winter months on a daily basis, because trust me, it is going to make a difference in your mood, and it is going to make you happier. Another one is, I already mentioned this earlier, but excuse me, guys, consuming positive content. Please be mindful of the content that you are consuming. Stop scrolling. If you are someone who is struggling this time of year, scrolling is going to make it worse. Comparison, they say it's the thief of joy, and it definitely is. If you are scrolling way too much, put your phone away. I saw this post that said, do more things that make you forget to check your phone. That is the theme. Okay, that is our theme for this year. Please make sure that you are doing more things throughout your day that make you forget to check your phone. I need you to, you know, do whatever it is that just really makes you feel present. I want, us as a community to feel more present, to be more mindful of how we're spending our time, where we're spending our time. Do things that make you laugh, do things that are engaging, things that make you not scroll, and just be mindful of the content that you are consuming. That goes for TV shows, that goes for movies, that goes for, obviously, social media. It goes, the music that you're listening to. All of that really does affect your mood, and just make sure that you are being mindful of your intake on content. I already said, don't wait until, your life is perfect to start living your dream life. Also, think about ways that you can be more minimal and simplify your life, because decision fatigue will always stress you out. Like if you have to make too many like if you have too many choices, it'll stress you out. So I'm talking about like just the basic stuff. Having your clothes picked out, for the week, or at least the day before. Having, a meal plan, knowing what you're going to eat, so you're not like ordering in because you can't even because you haven't figured out what you want to eat for the week, and then you're mad at yourself because you've spent money, or what you had was unhealthy, you had to get fast food. Like, plan as much as possible. And I know I just talked about having more fun, being spontaneous. Please do that, but have some degree of, organization and planning in your day, on a regular basis, to avoid decision fatigue. Because if you have too many choices to make, nothing is going to get done, or you're going to end up choosing the wrong thing, and then you'll be mad at yourself. So please do your best to plan ahead. Make sure that You are, like I said, just the basic stuff. Having your outfits picked out, knowing what meals, just having a general idea of what meals you're gonna get. Um, if you know that you have, obviously, all of us had to get Christmas gifts, most of us this year. Just having like the basic stuff planned out. But even in your home, do a decluttering. I know that a lot of people go like do an entire life reset before the new year. Get rid of things that you do not need, minimize your life as much as possible, and simplify every single area of your life as much as possible. Do all the things that we all know we should be doing, unsubscribing to the email list, throwing out things that we know are taking up too much space, doing the decluttering, cleaning out your pantry, like just all of cleaning out your wardrobe, doing a huge donation thing, like whatever it is you need to do to take a load off. You'll be surprised at like how big of a difference it makes in your mood, because for especially if you're someone who struggles with anxiety, having too much clutter or things just taking up space, whether it's digitally taking up space, mentally taking up space, or physically taking up space in your home, is going to feel like a weight. And then once you like start getting rid of all that, it is a weight off of your shoulders. So minimize your life and simplify everything as much as possible. I talked about having boundaries already a little bit, but have boundaries with people. If you feel like you are a people pleaser, we're not doing that anymore. We are not doing that anymore. If you haven't figured out how to say no by now, this is your sign to tell somebody no when you need to. I need you to have very strong boundaries going into this new year. We are done with stress. We are done with people pleasing. We are done with worrying. Like I said, even if things come up throughout your day that stress you out, worry you, I need you to change the story instantly in your mind. If somebody walks past you and they give you a like mean, nasty look in your mind, I need you to say, wow, that person was so sweet. Like, I don't care how you have to immediately change the story in your mind. You're not being bothered by things this year. This year, unbothered, okay? This year, you are not being reactive. You are not being reactive, and you are not people pleasing. If those are things that you have struggled with in the past, if those are things that you have let, weigh you down, no more. Absolutely not. No more. The last one basically goes back to what I've been saying this entire video, but make sure that you are planning time to just genuinely rest. I know that rotting has been a new trend, like just sitting on the couch and rotting, doing absolutely nothing, being a couch potato basically. And I'm glad that that's actually a trend, because I feel like I said we got so obsessed with productivity and getting our lives together and gisting and just wellness and having to the 5 a.m. morning routines and just doing all that stuff. It takes a toll after a while, and I think that all of the the wellness girlies and the all of those aesthetic-y trends are dying down a little bit because a lot of people took it overboard. Like I think that when we talk about productivity, especially in the online community, we have to remember that a lot of times the routines are not always sustainable, and it's important to make sure that you are still scheduling time for rest, and you can do those things like waking up early and having the time blocking and doing having your boxes checked off and having each hour of the day planned out. All of that stuff is great, but it doesn't have to be every single day. And I think that I'm going to do a separate video on like discipline and how I'm letting go of discipline and how I'm just embracing more um just not a like not well ease, yes, but like of just relaxing more, because I feel like discipline is not always sustainable. We Depending on what you want out of life, discipline is important, but it's like I said, it's not always sustainable, especially not every single day. It can create burnout, and if you're someone like me who is working on a side hustle or creating content, um, but you also have a 9 to 5, burnout is super easy. And so I want you to make sure that you are scheduling time for rest. Trust me, it'll make a difference in your mood. It'll definitely make you happier. I think that nap time as an adult is just as important as nap time when we were kids. I need you to go to sleep. Go to sleep. If you feel like you are running on a hamster wheel, your mind is going 1,000 miles per hour, stop. I am giving you permission to stop. Pause and go to bed. Go to bed. I'm like your parent. Do you remember when you were a kid and you were up too late or you were doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing? Your parents told you, go in your room, go in your room, go to bed. Lights out. I need you to turn the lights out on yourself. If you know that you are just doing way too much, I need you to trust and believe every single thing that you want, you already have it. So that it'll take the stress away from the discipline, it'll take the stress away from you experiencing burnout. You already have it. I need you to genuinely, wholeheartedly believe that, honestly, you guys, you do not have to work as hard as you think you do to get what you want. And life is all about what you believe. It's all about what you believe. I don't care what the gurus say. I don't care what your mentors say, what your parents say. It's all up here. Whatever you believe for yourself, if you believe that you have to blood, sweat, and tears to get what you want, then you're going to have to. But if you believe that you can get the life that you want by relaxing and taking a step back and, going at your own pace and trusting God to do the rest of the work for you, you can have that too. And I'm here to tell you that you can have that too. You can have the life that you want by taking your foot off the gas. You can rest. I'm giving you permission to rest. I feel like somebody needed to hear that because I'm getting emotional. You can rest. And I need you to make sure that this year, get off the hamster wheel. Get off the hamster wheel. You are not burning yourself out to get the life that you want. I'm going to end on that note because I feel like somebody really, really needed to hear that. And make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to this channel if this video helped you. And make sure that you check out my other videos if you have not already. My Instagram is at Thoughts by Mara. I also have a podcast called Thoughts by Mara. It is available on all podcast platforms. I love you guys. Let me know how you are being happier this season and going into this new year. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, whatever time you're watching this. I love you, and I'll talk to you guys in my next one. Bye.